international symposium especially focus on geohazards, georisk, its analysis and assessment.
Okay, thank you very much, Jenny, main organizer, chair of this International Symposium Geotechnical Safety and Risk 2019. What's your feedback so far?
So far, so good.
If we have to talk about issues.
Usually, the people from this conference like to talk about reliability-based design. I think in this symposium, there seems to be a trend that people start to be looking at what data can speak for us.
Across different sessions, Bayesian updating emerged.
Yeah, Bayesian approach is always popular. Its application is quite broad, even in the data analytic direction I mentioned to you.
Then we divide them into different categories.
You were the chairman of what session?
I was chairing session IS-15, Statistics of Soils and Rocks and Applications.
You chaired the session in Bayesian updating as a tool for different geotechnical applications.
It was a session about case history, and two committees of ISSMGE organized this session together.
Hello, my name is Wim Canning. I was just chairing the session on landslide risk assessment.
The session was dedicated to spatial variability of soil properties oriented towards reliability computations.
About rock reliability analysis.
Chair of the session on machine learning. Here we have also the two chairs of the session here together. Well, thank you very much, Professor Min Zhang. You are about to give a keynote lecture.
A lot more people are moving into larger cities. And then we have to raise a question, are larger cities free of hazard? And what's the role of us who used to be working on mountain hazard? So we definitely need a lot of probabilistic means. Without that, then most of things we say might be wrong.
Thank you very much for this. You cannot say with me anymore because you're about to talk.
I think all these presentations are quite interesting and impressive. And colleagues in this field, they are trying to apply machine learning algorithms to geotechnical engineering.
And it's also good to see that we are moving forward beyond to the using the machine learning algorithm as a black box. We start to consider how to combine the machine learning with our geotechnical problem in a more rational way.
And then we had a kind of a combination between practice and fundamental research that was the use of reliability-based design into practical applications.
Now in the new version of Eurocode, it will be more clear that the reliability-based design plays an important role, vital role.
Thank you very much for having accepted also this strange invitation for a chat while we are waiting for being served for dinner.
An unusual interview. There are two changes, one which is major and one which is minor. The major one is that they are going to allow the importance factor to be applied to the partial factors.
The door is open anyway.
The door is opened and is explicitly opened to be able to use reliability methods then.
It was a nice combination of having two perspectives, looking at this case histories from machine learning, also from probabilistic point of view.
There were also quite interesting Bayesian methods to solve different problems in rock engineering.
The importance of the Bayesian approach emerged.
In geotechnical engineering, I think that Bayesian analysis is a natural tool for processing information. They have been always combining this prior knowledge with information from site investigation, and actually Bayesian updating just formalizes this procedure.
What we generally do in safety and risk, of course, is we connect uncertainties to the probabilities of certain things occurring, to the probabilities of failures of structures, and that then with consequences boils down to risk. And what the Bayesian methods in particular allow us to do is make more accurate estimates of probabilities of failure or other things occurring with limited data.
And also the existence of very, very large databases.
In the future, we can even combine multi-sources of information, site investigation, monitoring, and the inspection data, and even the physical model, I think.
I think the keynote lectures of KK Phoon.
My lecture essentially thinks and reflects on whether we can do even more.
But then we have a lot of what you call ugly data.
Ugly data is something that is between good and something that I would call fake. We haven't been following the dimension on how you can make decision on data. We are not engineered to deal with zillions of data points, and that's just a joke, right? People will say that don't confuse me with data.
In your experience, what is the link between research and the practice in this field?
I think we need to work on the topic or the questions that the practical engineer really have difficulty. And at the end of the day, we hope the method will be useful for the engineer practice by the practitioner.
Here we are in an environment where we give it for granted that uncertainty, risk, and probabilistic analysis are needed. What is your take on how should we try to promote the use of probabilistic methods in the community?
Most geotechnical engineers are still very deterministic. However, I have the impression that there is a tendency to at least accepting more the concepts of uncertainty and probability, and the fact that through using these concepts we can get answers to many problems where it's not possible to answer just by looking at deterministic analysis.
The academic work being carried out on risk analysis, risk assessment for geotechnical engineering is very lively, it's progressing quickly, it has a very wide scope.
It was a very diverse participation from people from virtually every continent.
It was indeed a very interesting session. There were plenty of discussions.
No, you have to copy that, of course, but I have the right to produce something. Like I will be editing and... Hold on, sorry.
Maybe we have some communication before.
Thank you very much with that. The bell is ringing. Thanks.
Thank you.
So I really enjoy.
Well, I learned many new things to start off with, and that's